Question 514. What words of wisdom did your grandparents hand down to you?
Trying to think now. Trying to think. My grandfather had quite a few little quirks, so I'm trying to think what one of his little sayings would be that I'd stuck with me.
I don't have any, because the grandparents, one of my grandparents I never knew, he died before I was born. The grandparent I was closest to died when I was about 7 or 8, something like that. I don't really remember. I remember her well, but I was too young for her to pass on anything I consider as like that. And my other grandparent was a bitch, so there's no words of wisdom that I could take from her. She was an absolute bitch of a woman. Every single one, me and my siblings and my cousins all fucking hated her. She was an absolute bitch.
I do think a lot of my views on things like the church and whatever did definitely come from my grandfather. He did not have it's weird. I think he sort of kind of believed in God, but he was not a fan of the fucking church.
That's big.
Right.
Fuck. My nanny lived around the corner from a place we used to drink, and she used to hide us whenever my ma found out. Not really words of wisdom, but it's like, don't get caught, eat some toast, sober up.
I wish my nan had lived closer. I think she would have done that. Badger.
You can never have too much, whatever the material was called, in your hardcore bass, immediately followed by, okay, that's enough.
They didn't think you take it literally, did you?
I did take it literally, and I put a lot in.
Seraphim says, can't remember either of my grandmothers. Music collector, not much for me. Joan, none. Grandparents not passing on advice.
Just think if there's any more profound ones.
Doc said, my grandpa used to say, if worse comes to worse, we're screwed. Music collector, never knew my real grandfather and died when I was young. Intellectual iconoclasm says, never tell another man's wife she's wrong in front of him, especially when she is. You'll back your friend / loved one into a corner.
Yep.
Julie says, none, they weren't the advice-giving kind.
Don't go into the workshop without shoes on.
That's good advice. Go on. Amanda.
I don't know. I didn't know my grandparents really well. My grandmother was just a cunt, so I learned from her to not be a cunt, I guess.
I can't totally relate that.
Learn by example.
Yeah, well, the opposite of example.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe I might learn something about skepticism a bit from my grandfather, because he was a fucking wind-up merchant. There was got little things about, taking certain people at their words, because he was absolutely brilliant at winding people up and getting them to believe the most ridiculous fucking things. He actually caused a panic in the local post office one day, and there happened to be a load of police cars zooming up and down the road with the sirens blazing. And it also happened to be the time that the circus was on the village green, So someone asked him what was going on. He said, "Oh, didn't you hear one of the tigers has escaped? There's a tiger roaming loose about the village, and the police are trying to find it." And I swear to God, it was like we're around the village within fucking minutes.
Did they know it was him? Did they ultimately know it was him?
I think after a couple of days, it was like, "You're a bastard. You got, he's like, you fucking got us scored." But he was. But I mean, just on the surface of it, it's so ridiculous. Yet he could do that in a way where it would get you to believe something like that.
Well, that's really harsh, Seraphim. Stepfather's mum, you're ugly, Seraphim. You better have another talent.
Oh,
That's evil.
that's fucking.
Some parents, grandparents, and parents are just fucking like that, though.
Yeah. Music collector. Most of my family are the C word. My mum, dad are K.
Okay.
Don't know what that is. Always on ketamine? Grace fucking hated me. She loved to comment on how ugly I am. What the fuck is wrong with people? If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.